Canada and our allies agreed to a new defence investment pledge, which secures Canada's strategic and security goals. As part of that, Canada has already beginning working towards a target of 3.5% of GDP by 2035. By expanding our plan to invest in the Canadian Armed Forces, to modernize our military equipment and technology, to help build up our own defence and security industries, as well as to diversify our defence partnerships. We're also working to ensure that we are spending 1.5% of our GDP in defence and security-related infrastructure. So that means ports, airports, infrastructure to support the development and exploitation of critical minerals, telecommunications, and emergency preparedness systems. These investments serve our defense as well as protecting the readiness and resilience to protect Canadians.
You have an administration in Washington for whom the continued participation in the NATO alliance is not a given. And faced with that reality, you see them cite the changing geopolitical environment and these emerging threats in the Arctic and so on to justify this additional spending plan. But I found it really interesting how Mark Carney was taking pains to, first of all, explain to people that this is not a huge bump up like right away in the first year, that this is a ramp, if you will. Some people had thought it would be a target by 2032. It is 10 years out, a decade out, 2035. And Carney himself was talking about how these increases would unfold at a measured pace, that they would be slow, that they would be deliberate, that they would want to, he said, ensure they have value for money, and that Canada, as it sort of moved through this decade, would be able to have, he said, a clear and open conversation based on facts in terms of the trade-offs and the sacrifices that might be required in terms of if we spend more on this, we're going to have to spend less on that. This idea that sort of you need public support and buy-in for this, if not now, when? I think if you are a politician like Mark Carney, high in the polls, sovereignty arguments, threats on the horizon, self-evidently required and tied to Canada's future in North America and its relationship with the White House. If you aren't going to be able to do this now, when can you do it?